Shabbat Shalom. In Parashat Chukat, we find, following up with what I said last week, we find another revolt against Moshe Rabbeinu. This time is because the congregation doesn't have water to drink. Miriam died, and the rabbis understand that as long as Miriam was alive, the well that supplied water was always with them. Now Miriam died, and the well doesn't provide water any longer. They complain against Moses, and probably you know the story. Hashem told Moses to speak to the rock, and Moshe hits the rock twice, and they get a lot of water. And God says the following: because you did not trust me enough to affirm my sanctity in the sight of the Israelite people, therefore you shall not lead this congregation into the land that I have given them. This is one verse, is what I can consider a killing verse. Is after all this year, Moshe is being told, because you did not sanctify me, I guess you didn't sanctify me enough in the eyes of the children of Israel, Beinei Bnei Israel, Leinei Bnei Israel, you won't lead this congregation. In other words, Moshe and Aaron won't make it to the promised land, and they will die without seeing that land for which they fought and worked hard so much. The rabbis try to find out what is the big sin of Moshe and Aaron. What did they do wrong? What was so terrible? And I would like to share with you this interesting commentary, which is one of my favorites. I found it here. The author is Miginzei Atik from it's a collection of commentaries from the book Iturei Torah. The commentator says different commentators are trying to explain what is that sin that caused God to punish Moshe. Abarbanel, for example, brings 10 different possible sins. Shadal, Shmuel David Lutzato, comments on this bringing of all these sins, and on all trying to find what was the particular thing that Moshe did wrong. He says the following: I hear so many commentaries, and each commentary I find they bring a new sin, and because of that I will refrain of commenting on this verse, because I don't want to bring, God forbid, one more sin on Moshe Rabbeinu. Shmuel David Lutzato says, I am creative. I guess I could bring one more sin. I could find in the text maybe another problem. Maybe he hit the rock instead of talking to the rock. Maybe he, called them rebels. Maybe he made them feel that he was doing the miracle, and so on. And you probably will read all these commentaries. And Lutzato says, I don't want to be creative. Because if I am going to add, I am going to deter from the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. I don't want to add more at this point. Enough is enough. And I think it's a wonderful lesson here, because many times we want to add, we want to be creative, we want to add our 2 cents. And sometimes the best way that we can help in a situation, the best way we can help in a meeting, the best way we can help when people talk, is to say enough is enough. I may have what to say, but it takes greatness and courage and determination, even when you have what to say, not to say it if you think it's going to cause more harm than benefit. And this is a wonderful lesson I learned from Shmuel David Lutzato. is a lesson throughout no commenting on the Torah. He's a great commentator in my eyes because he knows when he needs to remove himself from the sin and to say, I am not going to speak right now. I hope this lesson will accompany me, and I hope I will learn from him when it's time to speak and when it is time to say, enough is enough, enough was said already. Shabbat Shalom.